Hello everyone, welcome to my first update video for YouTube. About a year ago I decided to mess about in the loft, build a baseboard. On and off it's taken me about a year. So I've just finished the baseboard, so I thought I'd do an update with the basics that I've got and a few ideas that I've got, and see what you all think. So the loft itself, is, if I pan round, is very heavily influenced, if you like, by the wooden frame. That's not a problem, I think it'll be fine. This straight going from there all the way down is 25 foot. Same on the other side. I think I'll be able to get some good long shots, because once I come over to this side, but with all this wood in the way, there's not really much I can do about it. So I'll just go over to the main portion of the loft, because I'm standing up the side, and I'll carry on. So this is a sort of standing area, if you like. One thing that I've got up here is scale electrics. For my boy Max. Hello Max. Couple of reasons for the scale electrics. One, it's good fun. Two, when you've got a 3-year-old up here, as is there, when you're dismantling track, etc., he's not going to want to wait that long, so it's ideal for him to jump on the old scale electric. There he is again. On cue, jump on the scale electrics and have a bit of play with that. The second reason, I'm going to be practicing, I'm going to model these scale electrics, so it's going to give me a little bit of practice before I move on to the railway. Just panning round really. So a couple of ideas I've got for the railway. This main area here is basically where I stand. I'm trying to get as far back as I can. So obviously this is the area where I'm going to stand. So down there is going to be very sort of lower level detail on the scenery. Up here is where the main scenery is going to happen. So here, in this section here, I want a big station section. I'm going to do what everyone else does and use the finger. So yeah, here obviously station. And then there I want it like a town scene, going above the railway with some detail, lights, etc. And then probably going down into countryside, and there'll be some kind of good yard down there. But what I want to do is, and I haven't really found it on anyone else's channel, so let me know if you think it's a good idea or whether it's a waste of time. This area is basically where I'm, in my brain, the railway starts, so it's going to start at the station. And what I want is a very sort of summer feel, so even down to the figures, I want everything looking very summery, trees in bloom, etc. And then as I come over here, it's going to come out the station, I'm going to have probably a mountain. I've put all my DVDs up there, but I think I'm going to have to move that lower shelf, it's too low, I didn't realise, but not a problem. So what I'll do is here, have probably some mountain. And then the difference with my layout, what I want it to do is start looking very autumn about here. So I'm not sure what I'm going to have there, but I want the season to change. As I come around the corner, splattering of snow, and then from here, probably all the way down to there, I want a very detailed full winter scene. So basically, as you follow it round, I want the seasons to change. Now I don't know if that's a good idea. I've never seen anyone else do it on YouTube. I've seen winter scenes, but I've never seen anything with a change of seasons. So that sort of interests me. Just panning around here. Tell me if I'm panning too fast. Probably in this section where the scale electrics, that's going to be very hard to model there without climbing through the loft. So probably what I'm going to do is have some kind of storage fiddle yard there hidden, that we can just store the rakes of trains. And all I've done at the moment is just lay out two lines really, just going round. All I've done is just set it up over the last week or so. So obviously this is pure at the beginning. Also, the board itself, it's not the prettiest board, but I did it myself, and I'm certainly not a carpenter. Laughably, even in the past, I've called people in to put shelves up for me, so it was quite a achievement to manage to get all this and get it all level. So I'm happy with it. But one mistake I suppose that I did make was, for the size of my loft hatch, I had to get quite small units of wood. So what I ended up doing was building it out of the chipboard that you use to floor the loft, which isn't a problem in itself, but now I realise that obviously I didn't realise how wet I was going to have to get my scenery. So what I did was, just to try and give it a level of protection, was just paint it, just to give it a very minimal skin, just to protect it really. But once all my underlay and stuff, the cork's down, you're not really going to see that, and it is all level, so that's the good thing, Before I started doing the baseboard, I thought that before I sort of invest the time and the money and the effort into making not a massive layout, but a potentially quite big layout. I mean, these straights are 25 foot long. I don't know how wide they are actually. Probably about 2.5 foot, something like that. Possibly 4 foot. I thought I'd see whether I could do any modelling. So what I'll do is I just did a little test board. I'm just going to pull that up now and just show you what I did. That was about a year ago. So I'm just going to pull that up. Just panning back around. Yeah, so before I started putting up the board in the loft, I just thought I'd see whether I was actually any good at modelling. Now I don't progress this to be of any quality, but it was just something. I'll tell you where I got the idea. You probably all know on YouTube the Camelot junction. On his website he did exactly the same board as this and showed you how to do it step by step, and I was quite inspired by that. So what I did was, with some of the board that was left over to start with, I just knocked up this little board and just put it together really. Plaster cloth, grass, there's all sawdust over it from where I've been doing the loft. Obviously the tunnel doesn't go anywhere. Put some lights on it. And I thought to myself, well, it's okay. It's acceptable for my first effort. So I was quite happy with that. So obviously, if it can be, well, it will be better than this, because this was a practice one, and I've studied YouTube a lot more now with regards to the methods, if you like. So you get a pan back. Doesn't go anywhere. So what this series of videos are going to be like is really documenting, for want of a better word, a total novice. I don't know anything about trains. The only reason I know that's a class 50 is because it's written on there. I literally don't know much, if at all, anything about trains. The era that I like is that, so I'm presuming that's late 80s. If anyone wants to correct me or help me with that, not a problem. That's the sort of era I want to model. If it so happens that like a Pendolino or the Rapier slips in, or that steam train goes around, isn't going to bother me, it's just not going to bother me. I don't want to be prototypical, as it were, although I want to be as close and as realistic as I possibly can. I don't want to get too muddy about it and not allow something on my layout because it wasn't of that year. I really want to run what I like the look of, really. So just to show you something else that we've done, my son there, he's 15, his name's Joe, I don't know if you want to turn around, yeah. He wants to join in as well, so what I've done is, oh, Max is calling me, hang on, say hello Max. He does do other stuff. What we wanted to do was have something that we could work on together. So Joe's over it. How long do you reckon that is, Joe?
I'd say it's about
8 or 9 foot?
probably, yeah.
Yeah, so we started off with just a shelf layout. But then what I did was, I've gone round the corner and underneath the water tank. It's just a simple bit of 4x2 or whatever it's called, round the back. You can get to it to clean it, so it's not a problem. And Joe's going to have like a station area here, some mountains and a tunnel mouth either end, some farmyard up there. So we're going to work on that together. And what we're going to do at the weekend is do a couple of baseboards similar to that, a little bit smaller. We're going to do them side by side. Just so, very similar to me, having a bit of a practice. My son can have a practice before he moves on to doing his layout. So it's all good stuff. I'm really excited about it, and I do really enjoy being up here. We've tidied up the loft a little bit, painted the walls and stuff. You know, carpet and rug and stuff. All my DVDs up, the boys up there. Just to make it a little bit more homely, really. Scale electrics to keep Max happy. Yeah. Oh, another wave. There you go. I will be doing some updates on the scale electrics, although a lot of the railway people won't be interested in that. That's not a problem. I may even do it totally separate. The pain about the scale electrics layout is where I don't want to sacrifice any of the real estate, if you like, of the railway. It sort of overhangs a little bit. So I'm going to have to model that section along there as if it's in a tunnel. Some mountains up there. I've got a humpback bridge that I'm going to, and then same thing there, it goes underneath the railway baseboard, so that's either going to be a tunnel. It's not going to be anything massive. It's still, oh, I've turned it off. It's still enough to have a bit of a blast around the track, so it's all good fun, you know. But the main reason up here is the trains, you know. I'll just show you Joe's train there. Right, so this is, as I say, the very first update. So I don't know how regular we're going to do updates. I certainly want to keep on with the railway. So I'll do updates as and when. I'll probably do an update when me and my son have finished the new test boards that we're going to do. I'll just show you that. But every day I not change my mind, but I add to my mind about what I'm going to have and where. The town scene was going to go up in the corner. But now I think I'll have it down there, because that's where the loft hatch is. So we come up there, and this is the main sort of, this area here, if you were standing here, this is going to be the main viewing area. This stuff here, that's all totally at hand. Until you get to about there, then obviously this being 25 foot, obviously it stretches out quite a bit. Goes to the other side. There's a little bit hidden with the water tank. Can't do nothing about that. That's quite hidden down there. So that's going to not be basic scenery, but that's probably going to be countryside. I do like lights as well, so I want a lot of lights. We've got stuff we can switch off. So over there, obviously that could be quite a lighted area, maybe countryside and a small town up there. So that's going to look quite nice. I definitely want the station to be well lit. I've got a sound loco as well, but I dropped it. It still actually works, believe it or not, so I don't know what I need. New bogies, I don't know, but it does work, so I need to find someone to send that away to, because that is a nice little train, you know. So feel free to leave comments, ideas, what you think about the change in season plan. You know, starting off full bloom of summer, coming round, touch of autumn. I know Woodland Scenics do quite a lot of autumn stuff. Moving around here, a little bit icy, to a full snow scene, which I just think would be fantastic, you know. Although obviously if it was snowing, British trains wouldn't be running that very well. But anyway, I'm rambling now, so this is #1 video, and I'll speak to you soon. Any comments, feel free to leave.